Diligent service to God doesn't guarantee true knowledge of God. As believers, we tend to focus more on our service to God other than our relationship with God. The truth is that you go to churches, you see people diligently serving God in various departments. Sometimes our churches are program. We can have programs, and that will run all week. You can find yourself engaged in activities that will run day to day, in church, and you are all sold out, servicing your way out to please God. But it doesn't really guarantee that you know this God that you serve. 'Cause many are serving this God with all their heart, you know, but they don't really know the God they serve. They don't really have knowledge of who this God is. Most most times, the God they know is the God their spiritual leader taught them about. Or some know this God through the Word. It's one thing to know God through the Word, but how about knowing this God by yourself? Have you encountered this God that you are serving so much? You spend time serving Him. Have you sat down to think, do I really know this God? Or have you experienced anything? Is God tangible to you? In Genesis chapter 3, verse 8, the Bible says that in the cool of the day, God came down when Adam and Eve sinned. And the Bible said that they heard God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. They heard Him walking. They didn't see, they heard Him. So it means they know His footstep. So they know when He comes, they know when He's gone, they know His presence. So they were hiding actually, it was in a negative way, but they knew God when they knew His footstep because they heard Him walking in the garden. That means that at some point every day, God comes down to have fellowship with them. In the cool of the day, He comes to have fellowship with them. So they knew God. They could tell that, He's coming, let's run away. How much of this God do you really know? Because the truth is that if you know this God deep, it will help you to help your quality of your service. I used to be in that shoe where I was engaged in a lot of activities in church, going. Sometimes I can even go to church like twice a day if there's a program going on. And I spend all my time in church serving God because I love God. But I didn't really know this God until I met a pastor friend of mine who I had encounters. I realized she was always having encounters with God, and she was always sharing it with me. And I wanted to know this God more. And I started spending time with God, separating myself and having proper devotion. Because it is in your place of devotion that you build your secret place. Most times we're going to work in the morning. Our time of devotion might just be 15 minutes, sometimes 20 or 30 minutes. And the 30 minutes is not enough to build spiritual capacity, not to talk of even accessing this God that we were serving. It takes time to know God. So I started engaging. I started separating myself more, from people. It became a lonely journey. I was always there serving and seeking God, building, staying in the place of devotion and seeking this God. And it didn't come. I didn't get to know God's presence or hear His footsteps just like that. It took time. But as I stayed more, the more I stayed in His presence, the more of Him I saw. So the truth is, and guess what? It helped the quality of my service to God. When I knew this God experientially, my service to him became improved. So my take and my my advice, or what I would admonish you, is as much as going to church and partaking in those activities in church is important and is good, take time out to know this God by spending more time in your devotion with him. As you spend time in your devotion with him, and then you get to access that secret place with him. And I mean, when you begin to have experiential knowledge by reason of encounters, and many more. Remember Saul in the Bible, he was zealous of God. The Bible says that they are zealous of him, but had no knowledge of him. He was zealous of God, but didn't know him. And I mean, he was zealously killing the disciples, because he felt he was doing God a favor by doing that, because he was saving. But it was when he encountered Jesus and Jesus turned him from Saul to Paul, that he knew that this God that he was zealously serving by killing the apostle wasn't the God. He didn't really know this God. He was just being religious, and he had a zeal for him, but he didn't have the knowledge of him. Take out time every day, no matter how busy you are. Take out time, stay away, and expand your devotion. Grow your time with God, and your secret place will be built. The quality of your secret place will determine the quality of your service to God, or the quality of your secret place will improve the quality of your service to God. God bless you.